let's have a conversation.
What's up, everybody? I hopped on earlier. I didn't have too much information. The only information that I had was about who won the HOH, which we all know now is Cameron. I was taking a guess on who I thought that he would put up. My guess happened to be correct. And when I say happen to be, I mean I have good reads on the game. So a lot of my guesses are correct, if I might say so myself. Let me see. Waiting right here till it starts. I can't miss another live this week. Grilling up some shrimp with and corn with rice tonight. If anyone's interested to know, we're all interested to know. This day, so I was watching the live feed for the last at least 2 hours, at least the last 2 hours of that competition that they had, and when Mimi let go, it looked kind of questionable. When America let go, it looked very questionable. Those questions were answered. She came into the house. I don't know if she forgot how she's been playing the game thus far, or if she was just delirious from not sleeping. But Felicia just came and just flat out asked her the questions like, "Did you throw it?" And she just flat out was like, "Yes, I did." It's like Cameron was talking to me about his kids, and he was talking to me about, he was like telling me that he wasn't going to put me on the block. She was alluding to saying that Mimi also heard this whole conversation, which she probably did. I mean, she was there. I wonder how much of the conversation she really knows about or heard, because I don't really know. I haven't really heard too many of her post conversations, but the ones I have heard, she has not been talking about knowing anything of this deal. But America made a deal, and America was talking to Corey afterwards and saying, "I could have held on much longer." And she said, "I believe that I actually could have beat Cameron, but," she said, "I was tired, my hands were cramping up. And at that point in time, he promised me that he wasn't going to put me on the block." Now, something that Cameron just told Matt in the room. Cameron told Matt that when America was making this deal with him, she also said, "You have to keep Corey safe and you have to keep Matt safe," which is interesting because, as far as I see and hear, Cameron is trying to make this power play. I don't know if this is an alliance already, but he's trying to make this kind of alliance of himself, Red, um, Corey. Who did I just say? Himself, Red, Corey, Matt, and America. And then I think he might want to grab a couple of floaters, but it seems like those are the main people. Cameron won. It seems like those are the main people that he wants in there. He wants himself, Red, because Red's already his person. He wants Corey in there. He wants America, and he wants Matt. He wants that five. So as he was having his conversations, he answered directly who he was going to put on the block, and he told them already. The nomination ceremony is happening tonight. He told Blue and he told Jag. I didn't see the conversation when he told Jag, but I did see the conversation when he told Blue. Blue was looked like she was kind of expecting it. Um, Blue gave this kind of half-hearted campaign for him not to put her on the block because he was talking in his cryptic ways, and he even said it's cryptic. He was doing the same thing when he was talking to Blue, America, anyone, almost everyone except for Red and Matt, but more so Red. Red is the main person that he was talking to more frankly. So when anyone else asked him, he said, "Oh, there's clearly powers that we're trying to take out, and You know, when he was talking to Blue, he was like, I'm putting you on the block. We're playing checkers now, not chess. So basically, what he was telling her in not so many words was, I don't want to send you or Jag home. He told a couple people in his alliance that if they stay on the block, like if the noms end up staying the same, he would rather Jag go home. But that doesn't really matter because he's not voting. So that doesn't really matter, or it doesn't matter that much because that wouldn't be his choice. But he basically told Jag and her that he wants one of them to come down. He doesn't care which one. He wants one of them to come down. And the last thing that I heard is he was playing around with Jared's name earlier, but it sounded like when he was talking to Red, which is the person that he trusts the most in the house, he was talking about making a play for Izzy through the back door. And if that happened, wow. Izzy and either Jag or Blue on the block. Izzy on the block, period, would make for great TV. I mean, that would not be the craziest combination on the block, but we don't know what Izzy would do if she was on the block. So I would love to see it. I would love to see it. What's up, Tammy? Does he have the votes for a backdoor even if he wanted to do that route? Now, that's a good question. They say that they have the numbers. Matt says that he has the numbers. Matt says that they have the numbers. I'm thinking about it. So he's not going to vote. How many people are remaining in the house? We have, 13 people in the house? I keep losing count because I know we lost Luke, Kirsten, Riley, and Heisam. There was 17, so that's 13 people. There's 13 people in the house, and he's HOH, so he's not voting. So that means there's 12 votes, correct? Oh, no, there's not 12 votes because there's 2 people on the block. So there's 10 votes, okay? There's 10 votes. So we know as a group, there is Jared, Sari, Izzy, Felicia. We know for sure those 4 are voting together. We know that Corey, America. Okay, here's the thing. Here's the thing with your question, Justin. As I started doing out the numbers, they need 6 votes to guarantee that their pick goes home. And there's not a solid 6 that for sure is going to vote together. So it's not that he has the numbers or he doesn't have the numbers, because they're all. He said something really smart earlier, and I was actually I didn't get a chance to tell you, but he said something smart earlier. I forgot who he was talking to. I think he was talking to America. I think Cameron was talking to America, and he was like, there's really like multiple small groups that are working together that think they're part of larger groups, but are actually just extra numbers for the small groups. So that's essentially what's happening in the house. I think the only solid for the biggest group is the Sari group right now. The biggest solid group is the Sari group, and even they don't have enough to guarantee that the vote is going to go one way, because Matt's a floater, Bowie's a floater. Yeah, Corey's kind of a floater. America's kind of a floater. I know, right? That's so true. Like if it's Blue and Izzy, if it's Izzy versus Blue, I think the votes aren't there for Izzy to go home. They might not be, but it depends on if the side that Cameron is trying to work on decides to unify for that. So it's possible, but it would require them to suddenly pull together. The noms weren't named, but he told Jag and he told Blue that they're going up. He didn't that they didn't have the nomination ceremony, but he told them in his HOH room in individual discussions with each of them that he's putting them up. And he's like, I'm not trying to hide anything. I'm not trying to blindside anybody. I'm telling you straight up, I want you to go. One of you can fight your way down because you're not really my target. And then I'll go after my target. And then they were asking him, like, okay, who is the target? And he's like, I don't really. It's like, it's something that I'm gonna think about later, but I haven't really thought about it yet. He's just not telling them because they're not in his alliance. I don't blame him. That's true about the groups. Izzy is a sketchy person to keep. So there was something else I was gonna say. Slipped my mind. America, yes. So when Cameron was in the HOH room, he was having a conversation about America. He was mentioning America to what's his name, Red. When him and Red were having their discussion, he mentioned America's name. We have this person, this one, and America. And Red was like, but America was fully ready to send me home. She was fully ready to be in a plan to send me home this week if you hadn't become HOH. So Red is not sold on America at all. If in my opinion, if these would be extremely entertaining feeds if Izzy went up, and I live for entertaining feeds. I think that Sari would have to campaign heavily and publicly just to keep the best chance of her secret not being revealed. Just like Heisem's eviction, they all came together, so they felt like they're on the same side, yet there's so much gray area. Yeah, and the Heisem one, though, was so easy in a sense. The Heisem one was so easy in a sense because he made it easy for them. Now, if Jag and Blue are on the block, it's not so easy. And it's probably, I don't think that would be unanimous. If Jag and Izzy were on the block, I don't think that would be unanimous. If Jag and Jared were on the block, it definitely wouldn't be unanimous. If Blue and Jared were on the block, it would not be unanimous. Anything with Jared on there would not be unanimous. I don't think anything with Izzy on there would be unanimous. I think that this week provides so many more combinations and pockets of possibilities than the first few weeks. Yeah, that was weird. Like, I was like, oh, they're bringing in snakes. And then I'm like, so the snakes are just going to sit in the middle of the room for what? Dramatic effect? To scare them? Like, oh, we're scared that there's snakes in the middle of the room, but they're not touching us and they're contained. I mean, I might feel a little uncomfortable with the snakes, but how about instead of doing snakes, you do some like cool twists or something? I did not really see the point of the snakes unless, well, I don't know. I don't see the point of snakes if they're not around them. Then again, I know that if the snakes are going around somebody's feet, it might be competition over right then and there. Like if you had to stay with your hand on the button and there were snakes there, like imagine somebody stomps on the snake and then PETA goes after them. If that was a box of bunnies far away and Ika was there, she'd be gone so fast. If y'all don't know Ika is legendary from BB Can. Ika is a BB Can legend who I wish I had gotten to see when she was in that mental health panel in Toronto, but the timing did not work out for that. So, but yeah, this is gonna be an interesting week. Even though my guy didn't win, or like I was hoping for America or Mimi to win. I'm disappointed actually that America actually just let go on purpose. That kind of upsets me, but I guess in America's case, she values this middle game more than she values the win, because she was talking to Corey about how the competitive side of her would have wanted to keep going, but she was just like, I already made this deal with him, and he's not going to put me or you or Matt up on the block or in the back door. So therefore, I had no reason to keep holding on. And I think a key thing is just she was like, I don't want to take the shot. What if they offered some temptations? I was expecting that. Corey kept saying it while they were doing it. Corey was like, they usually offer things, and then they usually say, now you have to hold a button with one hand. Now you got to stand on one leg. You know, like they didn't. It was so anticlimactic how it happened. Hopefully, this should be a good week. Hopefully, Izzy doesn't go. Did America make a deal with Cam? Yes, she did. The deal that she made with Cam was that she would let go of the button if he guaranteed the safety of herself, Matt, and Corey, both on the block and through the back door. Yep. So I was a little bit disappointed by that. I was watching the feed, like I was saying, at that last moment, and I was like, mm, the way that she let go, I think I blinked and I'm looking at her and I'm like, I don't understand this. So I went on Twitter to see a clip of it because I'm like, did I miss something? Did she slip? Did something happen with her leg? I don't know. I couldn't make sense of what happened. But it's upsetting now because I guess it's good for Big Brother for the suspense, but we weren't hearing the conversation that they were having. The parts of the conversation I heard were about nothing. And I was watching right at that moment. And then when she was talking to everybody and telling them about the conversations she was having with Cameron, she said that he was campaigning for a while. She said that he was telling Mimi and her, I have kids at home. I'm fighting for them. I need this. I want to see their pictures. I'm not going to put either of y'all up. We didn't hear any of that. One more minute and they would have had a record. Yeah, they were close to they didn't even realize how close they were to the record. America is playing. Was she the only one that recognized Kazar? I don't know, but I do know I was looking at when they had the episode yesterday, and they were like, oh, one more surprise, house guests. We're going to have the pressure cooker. And so many of them were looking around and saying, wait, what is the pressure cooker? I was like, man, hopefully Blue goes so Jared can get his head back into the game. I think that Blue would be the smallest target, to be quite honest. I think that Blue sitting next to any of those options is staying. I think that Blue next to Jag is going to stay. I think that Blue next to Izzy is going to stay. I think that Blue next to Jared might even stay. That one would be an interesting one, but I think that the other side might rally the numbers against Jared if he was sitting next to Blue, because like Blue is not a big threat in the game. I don't think it was. I think I heard it was 10 minutes, but I don't know. I hear various things. How does putting up Jag and Blue help Cameron's game? So the way that he described it is that the house, including Cerise side, it basically stirs the pot the least to put them up, because the house is kind of in agreement to have Jag and Blue up there, but he wants one of them to come down, and he wants to put up one of his other targets, which could be Izzy, which could be Jared, and Red was even throwing out Sari and Felicia's names. I don't think that he would put Sari. I do think he might consider Felicia. Those are like the three main options that I think he would consider in a back door: Izzy, Jared, and Felicia. I thought Sari was gonna be well. I mean, they're describing it like they didn't throw it, but they threw it, man. She could have been better at pressure cooker. She didn't want to be better at pressure cooker. That's my thought. That is my thought. And then they were sitting in the corner. They said that Jared had what did he have? He got a 6-pack of beer and he drank 3 of them. My curiosity is the bathroom. Like what happened with the bathroom situation? Maybe on. I heard that during some of those "We'll Be Right Back" screens, though, they got to go and use the bathroom. So I think they might have let the people who are already out go use the bathroom. I know that some of them use the bathroom on themselves, and we saw that in the feeds, like Corey, and I think I heard a couple of other ones, probably several of them, really. I wonder what Mimi, like Mimi is still mysterious to me, because according to America, he was having those conversations with both of them, which makes me wonder, did Mimi throw it as well? Because she looked so solid, and then she just let go and it didn't make sense. We would be having one heck of a week if America had won HOH, man. But remember, guys, there's another thing that's at play here. I think that it's called the, what is it called? The invincibility twist, where America votes for the top 4 players that they want to compete in this competition, and the person who wins that competition has a chance in one of the next 2 eviction nights to save an evicted player. Whoa. So imagine Cam got one of his big targets out, and then the player that was voted to have this invincibility thing ended up saving that person. The other thing, though, is they possibly wouldn't want to save them on the first week, because they wouldn't know if they need to save themselves. That's something that you might want to hold in your back pocket. Blue's not hanging on Jared today. She's got to. She has got to hang on other people at this point, because she's up. All that cuddling and boo stuff changes real quick when you know that you are up for eviction. Everyone in the house be tanking there. It made no sense why Sari took out Heisen this early. I don't think that was the best move. I agree too. I don't think that was the best move. I'm curious, which 2 ladies? Who are you voting for? Who would I want to see? Well, how many people can you vote for? I haven't voted. How many people are you allowed to vote for? Is my question. Felicia and Sari. I feel like now that I've seen Cam in Power and I've seen some of his conversations in the HOH room, Cam Cam has it in his mind that at some point he wants to take a shot at them, because Cam and Red specifically mentioned them as big names in the game. So everybody recognizes, people I feel recognize that duo even more than an Izzy and Sari duo. But I think they would rather throw Izzy up because they would be less scared to backdoor Izzy than they would be to backdoor Felicia. Because you guys could imagine what kind of hell they would be in for, trying to backdoor Felicia. Oh, I already put that one up. I remember the last time they had powers. I wish they forced them to use them. Yeah, and that's what I had been wondering. And I asked somebody last night if they are forced to use the power, but somebody told me that it's optional. So that kind of sucks, because I want to see somebody have to use the power. What if one What if you get one vote and what if you get three? If I had to pick one to have that power, so it would have to be one of the next 2 weeks. One of the next 2 weeks. Who would I want to? Who? Maybe, maybe I would like to see. I would like to see Izzy have that power, because could you imagine if Izzy ended up on the back door this week, and then she got evicted by all the house guests, and then had the ability to be like, psych, I'm still in the house. Yeah, I think I would put Izzy in there if I had one vote. If I had 3 votes, that's a little harder. I probably would say I would put Mimi in there. I would I would put Jared, and I would still put Izzy. Yep. How about y'all? Who would y'all vote for? Or who will y'all vote for that invincibility thing? Who would you guys vote for that? I'm interested to see what everybody else thinks. That's what I was thinking. I'd vote for Izzy because this season does not really have a fan favorite. You're so right. We are exactly. It's so funny because if you asked me this last year or the year before, I would have somebody based upon my favorite. I would say, "Oh man, give that." Last year, I'd be like, "Give that thing to Taylor," because I want Taylor to win. But this year, I'm like, I want the most entertaining and sloppy and messy option, please. Because I didn't even think High Sam was the best gameplay move. I just thought it's going to be an entertaining week with him. I'd vote for America or Mimi. Yeah, my vote is for make this entertaining. Hannah asked me my sleeper pick, and I said Mimi, and she was like, interesting. Like, that's a dumb pick, but I think my Mimi pick is legit. I think that Mimi is a legit sleeper, but it depends. It depends on what she does in the upcoming weeks, because I think that by about nine, or no, not even nine, we have 13 people left. So I think that one of the next 2 weeks, it's critical for her to get some leverage by winning an HOH or a veto. But an HOH would be ideal. It would have been great for her to win this week. Do you think if Izzy gets backdoor? See, this is the question that makes it so interesting. I don't really know, even if it's not with them who put her on the block. Here's the thing. One side of me is like, if they didn't put her on the block and the other side of the house wants to get her out. So let's do some math because they love doing math all the time. Let's do some math. So she for sure is supposed to have Felicia, Sari, and Jared's votes, but that's only 3 votes. They have other people that are on the fringe. Bowie, Corey, Matt, sometimes he Jag and Blue, but not really. So she would only really have 3 people that are supposed to vote for her. So she would be on the wrong side of the numbers if she got on the block. Automatically, she'd be on the wrong side of the numbers because there would be 3 or 4 people that would for sure vote against her and 3 or 4 floaters. So she'd be depending on way too much to stay in the game. Now, she would, if she was desperate and she really wants to win the game, that might be a play. That might be a play to expose the secret. However, she could still go down anyways, like Hisam. Because you see how Hisam told about all the professors, these are their names, these are our plans. And they were like, okay, you're still untrustworthy. It could be something that they're like, okay, we're still sending you home this week, but then we're going to send them home like right after you. So it's a hard thing to answer, Jazzy. What do y'all think? Sari knew she didn't have the votes. Fan favorite wise, 24 was Taylor, 23 was Tiff X and Derek X. Who's the fan favorite from this season? Well, I want to say well, Matt is up there. I want to say a fan favorite too is probably like Mimi could be a sleeper fan favorite. You know, the person who's not super popular in the house, but the fans like her. I want to say Mama Fee, but recently people are saying things about how she's been mean girling in the HOH room. I don't know, Jazz. I was wondering the same. Depends on how much she wants to win. The other thing is Jared and Sari talked about they were saying at this point people might not believe her or might not care. And I don't know how much truth there is to that. Oh, there was something else I wanted to mention. I don't know if any of y'all saw, but when Jared and Sari came back from whatever the room, the scary verse or whatever it's called, and they came back into the house when everyone was still doing the competition, Jared had an argument that's with Sari. Well, not really an argument. He got scolded by mom. He got a scolding by mom because he was having a conversation with Izzy, Felicia, and Sari. And he was telling them how Hisam said that they were going against him, that the 3 of them, or that the professors, I guess, but the 3 of them were against him and were making a plan to get him out next. And he was trying to say, oh, I didn't believe that. I didn't believe that. I'm just telling y'all what he said. And they were all like, what? So you're telling me that Hisam told you that we were trying to get you out, and you're going to tell us this now after he's gone? And Felicia was like, yeah, if I had known that he was trying to get you out, or that he said that we were trying to get you out, I wouldn't have even entertained his pitch to stay in the game. And they all kind of ganged up on him there. And then Sari went on this like monologue rant of her own, like, if we're playing together, you got to tell me everything. Not me, but she said, you got to tell us everything. That's a critical detail that you didn't tell us, and we got to be able to trust you. And he got really upset about that, and he just stopped talking, and she kept talking, Sari. and then he eventually left and just went in the bed by himself. He just got up and left. He didn't say anything. So then she let him stew for a little bit, and then she went over to the room, and she was like, "There's no question that I trust you. I love you. Obviously, I'm never gonna not trust you. You're my son, blah blah blah." And she hugged him and she said, "We're good. I love you." He said, "I love you too." And there was that part too that I forgot to mention. Up to 10 votes per email address. Oh, so if you have 5 email addresses, you can make 10 votes per email. You can use all 10 on one person or spread them out over several. That's interesting. And it apparently seems the fans got off the Sari train because, yeah, I've heard that. I have heard that. It's funny how when you put people in certain scenarios, I don't feel differently about Sari, actually. But it's funny when you put people in certain groups, certain settings, and with certain type of people, you get to kind of see their tendencies. So I don't think that the mean girling is new. Tammy coming through with the facts. Yeah, shout out to Tammy. I concur, Lisa D. Who was Sari being mean to? Um, Bowie, from what I heard. Uh, Mimi at times. Blue, definitely Blue. If you were watching the live feeds, they were sitting in the HOH room just roasting everybody on the video camera when they were looking at them. So yeah. Yeah, so that's where we're at for right now. The HOH ceremony is being recorded right now, so the feeds are down. And I'm going to take a break or pause. Oh, and I want to take a moment to advertise. I want to take a moment to advertise for a second. If y'all watched The Circle on Netflix, if you have not watched The Circle on Netflix, it's a social experiment type of show where everybody stays in an apartment of their own. They get a profile of either themselves, or they get to be a catfish, or they choose to be a catfish. It depends. And they have all these different interactions and these different games. Every week, they make a vote. The people in the house vote and choose who is going to be a top 2 influencer, and the influencers get to choose who to block from the house. So if you haven't seen it, head on Netflix and go watch season 5. Forget all the other seasons. Watch the other seasons later, but watch season 5 now, because yeah, this interview that I did with Sam is going to drop on August 29, which would have been my dad's birthday. And for that reason, I'm not going to be posting any Big Brother content on August 29. I would love for all of you to watch this interview on that day. It's going to be dropping at 12 o'clock p.m. It's hilarious. Sam is hilarious. She gave a lot of awesome information about the show. She gave some personal stuff that I didn't know. It's a really, 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 really good interview, and I hope that everybody checks that out. You can hit the notification bell now because it's actually preloaded up there, and it's gonna drop, I think, at noon. Where are we at here? And just to show you guys a little, I think I put the preview up here. Oh no, I put the preview on my other channel. Sorry about that. Or I put a preview on my other channel. Oh, it's doing this thing again. Switch accounts. Right. Videos. Okay. So I just posted this on my other channel. I didn't post it on this channel. Yes. Can we get some birds in the chat? All right. Here.
I was in the office and I was telling one of my coworkers that I was going to go get some water. I was like, yeah, that look that you just gave me, they were like,
you're beautiful. Based on a New Yorker, hi, how you doing? My name is Sam. I'm a New Yorker. Water is never what we drink water. Like I hear an accent, I'm like, ooh. You say water, it didn't tickle any of my spidey senses. In that moment when I started to suspect that Jennifer was an op, that she was an op, I was furious. Like I wanted to fight. Like production was like, Sam, just relax, play the game. Sam, don't get upset. It's not that bad. Don't be so aggressive. I'm like, nah, like y'all. I remember specifically asking one of the people in production, amazing man. I don't want to put his name out there, but we'll just call him Jimmy. Jimmy was like, oh, Sam, just don't play the game. It's just a game. You're taking it too personal. So I'm from New York. So I'm like, I'm that shit playing me. He goes, I don't even know what that means, love. So I was just like,
We are not going to get into that. But if y'all saw my video, well, you'll see it. If you have not seen the short video that I put up, you'll see that in my full interview with her dropping on my dad's birthday, 8/29, which is a Tuesday. There's that. And secondly, my interview with Shoebomb from the Circle is going to drop. I might have to shift the date around for that because it was originally supposed to be September 2, but I might push the date back a little bit because I really want you guys to watch this one. So I will probably come back tonight after the HOH noms are officially selected, which they're doing right now. For any fans of the Challenge USA, I'm going to be doing my recap of the Challenge USA at 9:15 Eastern time. That's already up. The link for that is already up. I might end up doing the Big Brother stuff after I finish the Challenge USA recap. I don't know yet, but just keep tuned in to my page. And we got a lot of content coming up. The Don't Trust Mimi is not from anything really that she did. I think that in this house, somebody summed it up really well on my channel the other day. In this house, if you are not making sure to be in the room with these people a lot, they always think that you're doing something. They always think that you're planning something. Always. It's like, oh, I have not talked to Mimi for the last 30 minutes. Mimi is scheming. Meanwhile, Mimi's like doing her hair and makeup in the bathroom and talking to herself. So that's where it came from, I think. They're not really saying Mimi said this to this person and Mimi said this to this one and it doesn't match. It's just more like we don't think Mimi is talking to us enough. Versus in America where they can actually say Mimi said this to this side and Mimi said this to that side, which makes me not trust her. So there's a difference, in my opinion. All right, y'all. Headed out. And thank you all for tuning in. Thanks for your support. Make sure, as always, like, comment, subscribe. Hit the notification bell if you haven't already to get notified of when I drop some more great content.
I slid in the DMs of Sam from the Circle. She was a really big fan of Jill Scott, so I had to lie and tell her that I was Jill Scott so that she would be willing to get to know me. So somehow, some way, she agreed to meet up with me as Jill Scott. So I'm hoping that when I see her, I'm going to be able to convince her that everything else was real and that we're going to have this great connection and great conversation. We'll see what happens.
What are you?
It's really you!
What are you, like a personal assistant?
No, I'm Jill Scott. We've been talking for like months.
You are not Jill Scott. You are not James Scott. Maybe Jeffrey Scott. You mean you're the person I've been talking to all these months? Are you playing right now?
No, everything else that I said was true. It was just that one part. I promise you.
So you mean telling me, season 5 winner of the Circle, Sam, putting stuff together smart, and I fell for this? You're dumb. And I'm out. Been real. See you later, Jeffrey Scott, Jeffrey, whoever you are. You know, absolutely.
You're just gonna leave?
I'm out of here. It's been real.
Call me.
Never.